Hey guys, it's Abby. So, today was a bit of a day in terms of getting a lot of things done on very little sleep and not really getting a chance to slow down and rest. And I think it's just the nature of this time of year. With a lot of us celebrating different holidays and gathering together with family members that we haven't seen and gift giving and preparation. There's just like a lot going on right now. So today was one of those days in which I was just running pell-mell the whole time. And I finally had a minute here to slow down and to think and to cozy up with a blanket and my cat, actually. He's keeping me warm right now. It's kind of cold in the room. And, I just needed a minute to reset after today. Maybe some of you are experiencing the same rush, and also need a moment to quiet your mind and think about maybe some of the things that make this time of year special or extra cozy. And I thought that's the kind of talk we could have this week. I thought I would just start, that song, My Favorite Things, or whatever that song is, from Sound of Music. She starts listing all the things that make her happy. That's kind of what I want to do for this talk. But specifically, things about this time of year that are not necessarily the same at other times of year, so that I appreciate this season a little bit more, which is actually really hard for me. I'm not a winter season person. I'm not even sure if I prefer it over summer anymore. I used to, but I think now, I don't know, I think it's just because it's such a busy time. There's just so much going on that I'm really not stressed, which is saying something because I have anxiety. And so it's kind of surprising that I'm not feeling super stressed, but I am feeling not on edge exactly, but kind of like I just need to breathe, but I can't take a deep breath. And I thought maybe a little chit chat with you would help me do that. And maybe it would also help you. So hopefully the sound quality on this isn't terrible, and I can edit it a little bit. I try not to over-edit these chats, just because I don't want you to get an idea about who I am, what I am, that's not realistic. These are real chats with you. None of this is scripted. I have a little bit of a cold still, because it just lingers on because I have asthma and allergies, and so getting over colds is just it's basically impossible. Okay, taking a tangent there. Well, colds are not something I love at this time of year. I'm sure many of you would second that thought. But things I do love. Well, I am a big cozy sweater wearer. I love a cozy sweater. It has to be very soft, though, because I have very sensitive skin and I can't handle itchy fabrics. So the one I was wearing today, I don't know what it's made out of. Probably like a polyester. It's just woven very nicely. It says can't even see. It's so dark here. Okay, so I finally was able to read the tag. I don't know if my eyes are getting old. It shouldn't be. It's not really a time, but it was like a shiny surface, and then it was like a shiny thread that wasn't stitched in the most articulated letters. And then I was in the dark, so I had to get my flashlight on going on my phone to read it. Anyway, it's a combination of rayon, polyester, and nylon. It's like a stretchy knit, and it's so soft. I think it's my softest sweater I own, and it's this goldenrod yellow, and it's not really my color. I mean, if we're gonna go with like fashion sense, but it's my color in the sense of I wear it and it gives me such joy. And it might also be partially just because it's such a soft, cozy, oversized, long cardigan. It has pockets too, and a hood. So it's totally cozy. So anyway, I love sweaters like that. I get kind of overheated sometimes, so I like a cardigan because you can take it off really easily and, cool off. That's probably silly. Unimportant information, but whatever. These are rambles for a reason. Okay, so cozy sweaters. I love a soft, fluffy throw blanket. Okay. You know, the ones that you get at like Home Goods, and they're so soft and fluffy. And they really do hold their fluff. Like I've got a lot of them. In this room alone, currently, I think I have 4. And they're different ages, but I think the oldest is like 6 or 7 years old. And I wash them, of course. But yeah, it's still soft and fluffy. It's not as fluffy as the day I got it, but it plateaus out and holds the remaining fluff very well. And I like those because you can layer them up if you want, and you can get warmer and warmer, or you can just have a light covering and just kind of keep the cool air out off your bones. So cozy blankets, cozy sweaters. I love a hot beverage in the winter, okay, especially in December and January. Hot beverages, peak hot beverage time. I love to make homemade ones just because it's, less expensive, more convenient, less waste. You're not getting all that garbage, like literal garbage that you have to deal with from the disposable cups. And I like, I like teas. I love all sorts of teas. I'm partial to herbal teas just because I feel like they're mild, and you can get lots of different flavors and smells and everything, and you can kind of spice up your day by trying a different tea pretty quickly. I'm not necessarily a tea connoisseur, so a lot of the like black teas or darker teas or even green teas, even though they may be varied because, they're from a different age of the plant or a location or whatnot, I can't really tell a difference that much yet. So I like herbal teas because I can, the flavor differences like hit you in the face. Yeah, so I also like coffee. I drink caffeine and decaf. It just kind of depends on the day. Like today, I only had, I want to say like 4 hours of sleep all day, and I still have so much to get done. I have to make Christmas gifts tonight, which I like doing, but it's a big production. And so, so I'll probably make myself a hot beverage actually. And I like coffees, and I like to put some kind of creamer oh my gosh, can I speak? Some kind of creamer in them. I don't like black coffee. It's just too harsh on my stomach and my taste buds, to be honest. And sometimes I'll put a sweetener in. I don't usually use real sugar in coffee. It's usually a sugar-free substitute, like a monk fruit based something, or something that is less good for me. Not that I don't even know if monk fruit's good for me, but something else that's like, another substitute, which I probably shouldn't be consuming, but I don't drink coffee that much. So we'll let it slide. Yeah, so I usually do a creamer, and I like to have my coffee rich, like really strong, rich flavor of the coffee, obviously. I sometimes will do a weak coffee or a weak tea, but if I'm going to put creamer and a sweetener, it can be stronger and kind of like, make you sit up and notice. And I like my coffee like a latte almost because I've added so much creamer. And yeah, it's delicious. I'm also recently, okay, don't hate me if you have had this and you think it's disgusting, but for some reason, my brain and my body love it. Like, I crave it. So I think I'm lacking in something, but I love mushroom coffee. I love mushrooms, so that might be a factor. I don't know. Specifically, the Rise brand, I got a bunch from my friend who decided she didn't like it. And, great for me because I love it. I don't even know, like, what's going on, why I love it so much. Now, I do doctor it up a little bit. I like to make a pre-blend, what have you. Because it doesn't really taste like coffee to me. It's more like a hot cocoa kind of base, like a chocolate base for me. And so I will kind of amp that up and play with that a little bit. So if you drink mushroom coffee, specifically a Rise coffee, that's spelled R-Y-Z-E, I think. This isn't promoting them. That's the one I'm using. So at least I'm like telling you honestly what it is. I like to take a little baking cocoa, like the straight up baking cocoa, and add that to it. And I don't know, it's to taste, so you kind of have to play around with what you like. And then I'll also add some cinnamon and sometimes some cardamom. And then I will use, so that's my like base blend. I will sometimes add a powdered creamer to it too, if I just want to be a little lazy and I don't really have time to add a creamer of some kind or milk or something. And then I will usually make it with, I'd say like a fourth to a third of it is almond milk. And I've done regular milk too, or cream, using as just like a creamer. But I like almond milk because I think it adds another layer to it with that almondy flavor. And so, yeah, I will heat up water and almond milk. I just mix it together because it's going to get blended anyway. And I'll heat it up in the microwave in a mug. Or I'll heat up the milk and I'll, do the little kettle for the water. But in any case, the beverage gets warm, very warm. I like it very hot. And then I add my blend of, that I've made, and I'll stir that in. And then I will add a sweetener usually, unless I'm having a dessert with it, and then I don't sweeten my drink because I don't feel you need to at that point. But if I'm just drinking it as a treat, I will add a sweetener. And again, these are sugar-free sweeteners. I don't really like adding real sugar to it, or if I do, it's just a tiny bit of brown sugar to kind of give another layer of flavor, because the molasses will give it another flavor note. What have you. Sorry, my voice is really not soothing probably right now because I'm dealing with allergies. But you're probably used to that actually by now, because I feel like I'm always dealing with allergies all year long. It's because I have a cat and I'm allergic, but I don't care. I love him so much. Yeah, so hot beverages, cozy sweaters, soft, fluffy blankets, and then I do love gift giving. So depending on the holidays you celebrate, I know several fall in this season, for a lot of different people. I like to give gifts, specifically if I make them. Now this year I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed with, I haven't even made that many gifts. I've just been busy with lots of other projects, lots of DIY projects, house projects, working this channel, writing my book series, just all the creative things I kind of do have been getting me a little bit overwhelmed. So, that's why it's especially important to stop and chat with people and, have your hot beverage and cozy up on the couch. Yeah, but I do love gift giving, so that kind of gets me through this time of year, because the holidays are always, the winter holidays are always kind of hard for me. I really don't know what it is, if it's just my seasonal depression kicking in or what, but there's just something different about this time of year than the rest of the year. And so giving gifts kind of gets me through that, because I love to give gifts, especially if I've made them with the person in mind. I've put thought and love in to the making of it. So I adore that. I've always loved making things for people that I know. And, I've been doing it a long time, so I've gotten better at it and developed many, many, many different skills. So that kind of helps when the person actually likes the gift you've made. It can be a bummer if you make them something and they're like, that's nice. Thankfully, I don't think that's happened to me yet, but I kind of have high standards for everything I make. Like a perfectionist kind of level, which can be problematic, but I love creating things. Right now I'm designing the basement aesthetic that I want to pursue, and I think I'm going to go with a Victorian kind of steampunk vibe, industrial Victorian, but with like aspects of luxury and like lush fabrics, but contrasted with that industrial, black metal and leather and all that. I think it'll be really, really cool and kind of help elevate the basement, which is currently just covered with like paneling from like the 60s or 70s, I think. I don't know. It's very cheap paneling. It doesn't look very good, but I think I can elevate it. We will see. Maybe that'll be a project I can get done over the holidays after the holidays get through. Yeah, so gift giving, cozy sweaters, beverages, soft fluffy blankets. What other things do I love about this time of year? Oh dear. Maybe that's it. I like to light candles. I like doing this all year round, but I think that it's more effective when it's a little cold out. So when it's like cold outside and you light a candle, I think your brain's equating it with warmth that is desirable. And so you're like extra aware of the candle and how it makes you feel emotionally and like kind of physically, even though you probably can't really feel the heat from it. Your brain tells you that it's really warm and cozy. And so, yeah, I like to light candles more at this time of year than I do at any other time of year. And I actually have, because I personally celebrate Christmas, I have what is it called? I think it's called a Christmas pyramid. It's like a German designed thing that has, I think it's from like the Victorian era is when they started using them. Might be even before that. But they had them in Germany, and they brought them over during that time. And they have like a center axis, well, maybe an axle, that a little scene spins around inside, and then there's propellers on it on the top, and it's like set up kind of like a helicopter on the top, and you light candles in there, and these little kind of like little arms that stick out the base of this pyramid-ish shape. It's kind of more round than a pyramid, but maybe a pyramid can be round. I'm not sure. And the heat and the rising air from the heat moves the propellers and it spins. And so this little scene inside of the frame that is actually able to spin around this axle or this axis, it spins around and it's really pretty. It is a little bit of a science to get the candle height and heat kind of correct and the angle of the propellers to work right so that the little scene spins. Sometimes you're just like fighting with it for like 20 minutes because the little propellers come off so you can put it all away and it doesn't break. But that means you have to put them back in every year, and if you forget the angle you need, or you've got the wrong like height of candles, or like burning down, or they're not like producing enough heat to reach the top, because It's over 12 inches tall. I think mine is like approaching 2 feet tall. It's big. And yeah, that can be a bit tricky. Sometimes I get really fed up and I'll just be like, I'm done. And I'll have to come back to it later. So yeah, candles are gorgeous, especially scented ones. I think they smell better at this time of year. Maybe because it's like the world outside smell is kind of neutralized because it's so cold. You don't really smell as much from nature. And so when you bring those candles in and, they smell good, it's something you've been lacking for a little while. Anyway, let's see. We're going on 21 minutes. Oh, that's pre-editing, so it might be a little bit shorter for you. Well, this talk of all these cozy things has made me a little sleepy. And I really can't take a nap. I actually have to go make Christmas gifts. But my cat's cozied down on my lap, and that means I can't get up for a little bit. So I might have to extend my rest period longer than I intended. Maybe you will too. Maybe you're falling asleep already. That's okay. That's why I'm here. Yeah. So I hope you have a cozy, comfortable holiday and winter season. If you're interested in hearing more of what I have to offer, special audios and the not safe for work audios, that's all on my Patreon. So you can check that out if you want. I'd appreciate it. So I hope you have a lovely evening. It's evening right now for me recording. You probably won't be getting this in the evening because I tend to release in the afternoon. And yeah, stay warm if you're in a cold place. Stay cool if you're in a hot place. And if you're just in a regular old normal temperature, well, that's nice for you. Because that's not how it is for me. And well, enjoy it. Yeah, and you have a lovely night. Okay.